Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. I am your Lord of Pain. And sorry, I'm a little thrown off because I was not expecting to be alone tonight. Satsu's taking the night off, and Scribbles was here, but he keeps jumping in and out. Something's going on. There he is. How you doing, Scribe?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and so can the people at home. Yeah, you just kind of disappeared.
My internet died.
Oh.
I couldn't send any messages. I couldn't hear you. I had to reboot my computer. I'm presuming it's working now, but if it happens again, I guess that's the reason. So, hi. And that means all the stories that I collected are now gone. So I have to collect them again. So, yeah. Hello. Live TV, everybody.
Welcome to it. Yes. Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you to all person who says happy March 4th day, aka do something day, everybody. Can't stay because I have one of those jobs, as Monkey likes to say. I look forward to the watch later. Well, thank you so much for the donation, and I hope you enjoy the show when you finally get to see it. So, Scribbles, other than your internet problems, how you doing today?
Better than yesterday work-wise. Still stressful, but I mean, given how Monday was, my tolerance is pretty high now. Elsewise, I went to the store today just to get some lunch, and the shelves are starting to empty. Panic is ensuing in my local area, and it's ridiculous. There were people like last week, I thought at least ahead of time. I was like, okay, if I get sick, what are the things I usually do to help, deal with it? And I was like, okay, I drink tea, but I use honey because sugar dries you out, and honey's also good supposedly for your immune system. So I bought 2 little bottles of honey off of a little, shelf that had lots and lots of honey. Mm-hmm. All the honey's gone, all of it. I saw a guy walking out with like 4 bottles of it, and I was like, okay, well, I thought ahead. But yeah, it was looking like the beginning or that one scene in It's a Wonderful Life where they make a run on the bank.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, what?
That movie, when I was young, looked very not interesting to me. So I never watched it. Then as I got older, it's like, I don't care.
It's like an American classic.
I know. It's okay.
Actually, no. This is one time where I draw a line and say, no, it's not okay. That's against God's plan. You need to
watch
have
seen It's a Wonderful Life, and that was just fine. That had Sam Kinison in it.
Yes, I am aware. But anyway, yeah. So my interesting part of the day was watching people acting like it was the end of the freaking world, and it's just like, guys, seriously, calm down. But that's what it is. But I mean, I prepared in so much as I thought I needed to. Just like I do every flu season, I have a few cans of soup around. I got some tea and honey and, whatever. So there you go.
Hi, Hammer. How are you tonight?
Monkey, I'm great. How are you?
I am wonderful. Scribbles, Hammer, when you weren't here, offered to join me, and I thought, you know what, we might as well have a third anyway. So Hammer's going to join us this evening.
Oh,
I'm sure Snoop will be along too.
I'm not enough for you.
No,
I jumped at the chance to be on the show with Scribe late. He's the man.
That's hurtful.
Well, I am. Well, you are assuming my gender, but it's true. I am a man.
Thank you, Nico, who says Chuck Schumer's getting censured for SCOTUS.
Well, gee, why don't you wait till I get to the news before you jump the gun a little bit? Jeez. Gosh. How are you, Monkey?
I'm, not too bad. Not worth talking about. Hammer, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. I was in the hospital today. It doesn't sound like it should make sense, does it?
No.
I was in the hospital, but I'm doing great. Got a kidney stone out, but the relief.
That would be much better, right?
Oh, the relief. Oh my God. I'm so much better. I'm in a good mood and everything. How are you? Did you get some sleep?
Nah, kind of. Kind of. What just happened to my computer?
I don't know.
It's acting like it just rebooted, but there's no way it could have because
You're still here.
I'm still here. All right. It's been acting a little crazy lately. Time to clean it up. But anyway, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys, and share our stuff because YouTube won't do it even on the subscription tab. For those of you who don't know, the subscription tab on YouTube right now is not working, or at least it's not working for most people. If you go over there, it tells you that the people you subscribe to haven't uploaded anything ever.
What's interesting is that it only happens on certain accounts.
Oh, is it happening for you?
It happens for me on my personal account, my Hammer account, but it works with no problems on the Minions account, which I have access to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube is just being YouTube. And as a warning, usually this kind of thing precedes YouTube bending us over without lube and, ramming it right up us. So be on the lookout for that as well. Cryptic. Point Curation. Thank you. Did panic buying after Medicare streams. No regrets. I mean, and hello, all you wonderful sinners out there. It's nice to see you guys.
The name's Scribe. The name is fucking Scribe. Jesus.
I work with too many S's.
I'm the only S here.
You're the only S here. You're not the only one I work with.
Oh,
he never misses my name.
Oh, you think of this as work, huh?
Look, I call Hammer here Polly from time to time, and those two aren't even the same. They're not even close.
He's got you there.
Oh yeah, boy, I'm bested now.
You're lucky I know it starts with an S.
Yeah, I guess so.
Scribbles, what do we have for news today?
Oh fuck, I don't know. Well, hey, how about two Crystalliza stories?
Oh, it's our birthday and Christmas at once.
Stories is being generous, but anyway. So as most of you know, last night was kind of a bust for ye old Bloomberg.
Yeah, Mikey, he kind of imploded, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I was telling my dad. My dad called up just before the stream to talk, and I said, "Yeah, we were watching the Super Tuesday last night." And I said, "Yeah, Michael Bloomberg spent $500 million. He might as well have bought American Samoa than just got the delegates."
Indeed.
Yeah. So Crystalliza wants us to know why Michael Bloomberg's failure is a good thing for democracy. Now, the sentiment alone, I probably agree with. I can probably guess where he's going with this. Can you guys guess where he's going with this?
That it's good that you can't buy the election.
That'd be my thought. Hammer?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, let's see if we are on the same mental level as the genius Crystalliza. On Wednesday, less than 4 months after Michael Bloomberg got into the 2020 Democratic race, he ended his campaign, after a hugely disappointing showing on Super Tuesday. This is a very good thing for democracy. To be clear, I have nothing against Bloomberg personally, in case this gig at CNN falls through and Bloomberg News needs a political commentator.
Indeed.
Sorry, I added that part. Chris didn't say that. But his campaign was a massively important test case of whether a hugely rich person, doesn't sound very professional, but anyway, hugely rich person can simply step into a race for president and, by dint of his unlimited wealth, he used dint, secure a party nomination solely on the back of slickly produced and ubiquitous TV ads. Simply put, wait a sec. Your previous paragraph said, to be clear.
Yeah.
And then your next paragraph starts, simply put.
Well, he wasn't clear enough in the first one.
Yeah. Is this more simply than what you just said before?
He used ubiquitous. I mean, now it's not clear.
Well, I mean, he used dint. He used ubiquitous. He was really breaking out the thesaurus today. Had Bloomberg become the party nominee, we would have seen a lot more billionaires thinking to themselves, hey, I can do this. Heck, I should do this. His utter defeat, he won 9 delegates and counting, and all of them in American Samoa so far, suggest very strongly that there is more to running for president than just being rich and buying hundreds of millions of dollars in TV ad time. Yeah, you actually have to have a personality. You actually have to have a platform. If you had a personality and a platform, if he was like a Richard Branson type, he might have had a chance, but he was Michael Bloomberg. And as I've said, he has the personality of a dead gnat and the comedic timing of paint.
If Bloomberg would have jumped in the race early on, he'd probably still be in the race.
Yeah, if he had a couple more debates under his belt and got most of his dirty laundry out of the way in the first 2.
His biggest problem here was trying to jump into Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
The same thing that Giuliani did without $500 million behind him a few years back. This isn't Chris, you're a moron. CNN, seriously, hire me. I'm far better than anybody you hire for this shit.
Lords of the Night should be on a CNN radio show or something.
Agreed.
We wouldn't fit there. We're too bright.
What news outlet would we fit on, you think?
Here.
This isn't a news outlet. Well,
what's the one that Howard Stern is on?
He's on Sirius.
Sirius XM. Seriously. Yeah, Sirius XM. Hey, give us a show.
See how I just incorporated myself in this? We would do well.
That's great, Carpetbagger. Hey, Sirius XM. You'll give Howard Stern a show. Hell, you gave my
idea.
You gave the weird guys that come on his show their own show for a while. Was that hippie guy? I forget. Anyway. In the approximately 118 days he was in the race, he dropped at least $570 million of his own money on the campaign, including $234 million in Super Tuesday states alone. A quick bit of math shows that Bloomberg spent more than $4.8 million a day in the race. Or looked at differently, why we have to look at it differently? But okay, Bloomberg spent more than $63 million for each of the delegates he has won so far. Okay, all right.
Real quick, Twisted Skipster, thank you. Scribe, be easy on him. His missus did say he was kind of special ed.
Easy on who? Hammer?
Well, whose missus said he was special ed?
Did Lady Monkey say that about you?
I don't think so.
Oh, did Chris Elizabeth's wife say that about him?
I don't have
I didn't write this.
I don't know either. I didn't know if it was like an inside joke from Monkey in the Morning or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with who said that. Twisted, whose missus said that?
I mean, if it was Chris Elizabeth's wife, she's an honest woman.
Right.
What doomed Bloomberg was... Okay, so Chris has his theory as to what doomed Bloomberg. I think it was an absolute lack of, first off, bad timing, and a completely not made for TV personality.
I think it was
arrogance.
I think it was lack of platform. I mean, we know what platforms are for the candidates. Even people who are not showing up on stage. Tulsi's, regime change wars. Yang's out, but he was UPI. We all know their platforms. But unless I missed it, did Bloomberg have one?
Oh, Twisted said Lady Monkey did say it on our live stream. I didn't remember that. So it was directed at me, Scribbles.
Okay.
Bloomberg actually kind of tried to hide his platform.
Yeah.
Because his platform is no guns.
Right. That was it. Yeah. He was kind of going the Beto route. And that didn't work out. And he's like, what doomed Bloomberg was the fact that he couldn't get away with just doing TV ads. Well, I think it was more than that, Chris. I think his first debate appearance probably sunk him more so than anything else. After the Democratic National Committee changes its debate rules for the pre-Nevada and pre-South Carolina gathering, Bloomberg made the stage and he bombed. Yes. Bloomberg's performance in the Las Vegas debate was shockingly bad, a toxic combination of woodenness and snarkiness that left voters looking for an alternative to Biden or Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders sorely disappointed. In the next debate, the following week in Charleston, South Carolina, the contrast between TV ad Bloomberg and actual Bloomberg was even more striking due to the fact that at every commercial during the debate, there was at least one Bloomberg commercial running. The difference between the two, it was unmistakable. TV Bloomberg was a solid, proven, and capable leader. Actual Bloomberg was halting, uncertain, and at times just plain nasty to his competitors. Are you telling me that produced TV ads put a shine on something that might otherwise not glisten? Chris, tell me. So Chris's analysis here is a very wordy stretch of what we've already talked about for like the last 2 weeks.
But what this doesn't take into account, and what Chris really should pay attention to, is that even with as bad as Bloomberg did, with what he spent and as little as he was actually in this race, he still came in third in many of the races.
Yes.
Above Warren in a lot of places. And I still say if he was in it longer, he would still probably be vying for first, second, and third between the three of them. But I think he would actually be a candidate that was being taken seriously right now.
No, what could have done it? No, he could have come in at the same time, I think. But if he'd had a platform, like an actual platform, and he had an actual personality that tracked with people, he could have come in when he did and done much, much better.
None of them have a personality in this race.
No, but I mean,
fine.
Okay, so none of them did, right? But like I say, if he was like a Richard Branson, if he was someone with some charisma, and he came in that late, that's what I mean. Okay, so when I say personality, I mean charisma.
No, and I understand that, but my point being is that none of them do. So that's why I don't think that's what hurt him at all. It's just how little people got to hear from him. Even yes, guys, I realize everybody saw the commercials, but how many of you actually sat there and watched them every time they were on? Yeah. How many of you didn't start tuning out and talking to somebody else or playing with your phone? Yeah, they were all over the place, but I don't think people were like glued to him. Yeah, he would be a contender right now if he'd have been smart about it and got in immediately.
He probably would be the best contender, really. I think the other two candidates, Biden is senile and Bernie is, a communist. I think of the three, if he would have got in early, he'd be the one that Trump would want to avoid, because he is Trump in a way.
Well, that's the other thing about this is we've also heard, Trump getting into this would teach other billionaires they can get in, and we just saw three. Wait, is Yang actually a billionaire or just a millionaire?
I think he's a millionaire.
So two of them just get shown. No, it has to be more than just money.
Yeah. Well, Tom Steyer was a whiny bitch. I mean, God,
he was.
What a whiner.
Because he spent a lot of money too. He might not have spent Bloomberg money, but
oh God, I closed it already. He had a graph up showing who spent what, or at least the estimate of who spent what.
Sure.
Where did it go? I'll find it again and tell you in a second.
Trump's the billionaire and the guy with charisma.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he's got both. But he didn't spend hundreds of millions of dollars on his campaign. He spent 70 million or something.
Didn't Hillary spend a whole lot more?
Oh yeah. Well, Hillary had a larger war chest, but her campaign manager was very stingy with the spending. Like their theory was spend only what you need to, and you see what that did for them, right? I've talked about it before. There's a great book called Shattered about the Hillary Clinton campaign from the inside. And, if the conspiracy theorists about Russia and everything else, if they would just read that book with information coming from the horses' mouths in the campaign about how horribly it was run. Yeah, Russia did not do in Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton did in Hillary Clinton. Tom Steyer spent an estimated $210 million. Bloomberg, 560, probably more in the long run. So far, Bernie Sanders is at 55 million. Donald Trump so far is at 60 million. And the lowest is Tulsi Gabbard at 5.5 million. Joe Biden's only spent 16 million. So I was saying this earlier today, the fact that Joe Biden won in so many states where he either hadn't really given any presence or hadn't really invested any time says that the regular Democrats out of there are more averse to Biden than they are needing convincing, more averse to Bernie than they need convincing by Biden.
Yeah. This is why it was so important to get Pete and Amy out. Because I know, guys, I beat this drum so many times, but the majority of the Democratic Party, not even by just a little bit, is not Sanders people.
Yeah,
that is a small contingent, which has grown a bit, but it's still not 50%. So if they could just get everybody else out of Biden's way, it's the nomination is his.
You know that Pete and Amy are claiming that it was just a coincidence they decided to drop when they did and just suddenly end up in Texas with Biden. It was just there was no coordination, there was no deal making, there's no pressure campaigns or nothing. It was just time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Bullshit sneeze.
Speaking of which, the other Chris Eliza story, the ridiculous idea that Super Tuesday was rigged for Joe Biden. And in this one, I agree with Chris. I don't think there was a conspiracy theory here. I think it was just the natural course of things, mostly. In the wake of Joe Biden's sweeping victories on Super Tuesday, a very odd pushback began among online forces supportive of Bernie Sanders and fomented by President Donald Trump and his loyal allies, that the whole process has somehow been rigged against him. Oh, gosh. Trump trying to sow discord amongst the Democrats? Yeah, gosh, I can't imagine. Hashtags like rigged DNC and rigged primary were trending on Twitter throughout the early morning hours of Wednesday as it became more and more clear that the former vice president had won in places like Massachusetts, Minnesota, and Texas that were presumed to be Sanders' strongholds. Looking through the tweets collected under those hashtags, the main evidence of this alleged rigging seems to be A, confusing ballots in various states where Sanders' name was not easily found. Okay. B, the series of establishment endorsements by people like Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar of Biden on Monday. And C, long lines to vote in areas where Sanders ran strongest. Here's a single tweet from Haley Nobody, whose Twitter handle identifies her as founder of hashtag local Bernie-crats Denver.
Okay.
And it captures all of these ideas. Quote, a rigged election isn't always obvious. IRL, it took like 7 hours in areas with lots of POC. IRL, it looks like planned spoilers staying in just until the right time. IRL, it looks like the media curating a very specific and biased narrative. Well, CNN was pretty much up Biden's ass all night. Let's be honest. And so was MSNBC. So here's the thing. None of those pieces of evidence are proof of the process being rigged for Biden. Not even close. Really, Chris, you're really concerned about evidence? Tell me about the Russiagate again. Why aren't you just, shouting from the rooftops about how Bernie's been duped by the machine that is Biden? I mean, Biden's probably got foreign help, right? I mean, that's the only explanation. Or do you need evidence now? Jesus. Not that I'm saying Bernie was conspired against. I'm just saying that Chris Liz is a freaking hypocrite.
Here's the thing. There's a difference between him being conspired against, which he absolutely was.
Yeah.
And it being rigged.
Mm-hmm.
Rigged is getting all the way to the convention and having a plurality and not a majority. That system is specifically rigged. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to him? Yes, it was dirty politics, but it was politics. It's all legal.
Right.
There's nothing. Bernie could have tried sucking in those voters, and he's been specifically rejecting them all election. No, we have to go further and further and further. This is the only way to do it. The only way to do it. Well, there's a whole lot of people that don't want to do it that way.
And also, it's the antithesis of trying to unite the party if you keep going it alone. At some point, you're going to have to reach across the aisle, so to speak, and say, okay, we're at this point now. I mean, he probably should have called, I don't know, Booker and some of the other people that had dropped out after Nevada and said, hey, maybe we should talk or something, get some names on his side, because at this point he's got no friends.
Well, but see, I get what you're saying there, but the only thing he could do that would help his campaign is get Tulsi and Warren to drop, and it's not going to be enough votes. People didn't go over to Bernie or over to Biden because Amy and Beto and Pete told them to. It's because that's the natural flow to where those voters were going to go.
Yeah.
So as this election has gone on, if you go back to that very first debate, and see how liberal that debate was. And this is where I have to admit I was wrong, you guys. I thought for certain that this race was going to be a push to the left. And at the very beginning it was. And then it snapped back. And if you go back to those first couple of debates, like where they all raised their hand that their medical program is going to take care of illegals.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to the point where every one of them is denying that ever happened, even though we still have it on fucking video.
Yeah.
You get to a point where Bernie's platform, it's just not inclusive enough. And so even if he would have had like Booker come over and go, I support Bernie, he's like, you have no voters there, Corey. You're bringing nobody to the table with you. So yeah, Bernie's just kind of screwed unless he's going to soften his platform, which I don't think he can do at this point, and keep his voters.
Yeah. There's been the idea floated that he offers VP to Warren, and that somehow he'll unify that whole thing. But I don't think she'd take it after her. First off, she wouldn't take it probably just out of pride, but also because it wouldn't make any sense after the comments she made about him being all sexist and horrible and everything.
Fair enough.
And the whole you lied about me on national TV.
That one too. He probably wouldn't offer that olive branch either.
But again, strange bedfellows.
Oh yeah.
Bush Senior is the one who called Reagan's economic policy voodoo economics.
That's true.
During the debates, and then he became the vice president. So
all right.
Weirder things have happened.
I got a couple more here. Chief Justice John Roberts rebukes Chuck Schumer for comments about Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. Chief Justice John Roberts issued a rare statement rebuking Chuck Schumer for comments the Senate Minority Leader made about Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch outside the Supreme Court on Wednesday. Schumer, speaking at a rally of abortion rights supporters, appeared to threaten Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, President Donald Trump's two Supreme Court nominees who were confirmed after bruising nomination fights. Quote, I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions, unquote, Schumer said. In a statement Wednesday afternoon, Roberts said, quote, this morning, Senator Schumer spoke at a rally in front of the Supreme Court while a case is being argued inside. Senator Schumer referred to two members of the court by name and said he wanted to tell them that, quote, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price, etc. Justices know that criticism comes with the territory, but threatening statements of this sort from the highest levels of government are not only inappropriate, they are dangerous. All members of the court will continue to do their job without fear or favor from whatever quarter, unquote. Yeah, Chuck, weren't you like complaining about things that Trump would say that threatened the media and the enemy of the people and all that kind of stuff? Remember that, Chuck? Schumer's comments came as the Supreme Court heard over an hour of arguments concerning a controversial Louisiana abortion access law that critics say will leave just one doctor in the state to perform the procedure. Key justices indicated that they could be poised to uphold the law that is similar to a Texas law the court struck down just 4 years ago. Roberts and Kavanaugh both asked questions suggesting that the Louisiana law that requires doctors to have admitting privileges in local hospitals could serve a valid purpose. Schumer spokesman Justin Goodman said criticism of the New York Democrats' comments are, quote, deliberate misinterpretation, unquote. Really? Well, okay. I mean, I'll give you, they were a little ambiguous in what he meant, but in that sense, can they be misinterpreted without further clarification from the speaker? Quote, women's health care rights are at stake, and Americans from every corner of the country are in anguish about what the court might do to them, Goodman said in a statement. He went on to falsely say, what? This is the author of the article saying this before I get to the quote. He went on to falsely say, quote, Senator Schumer's comments were a reference to the political price Senate Republicans will pay for putting these justices on the court, unquote. Good on the author.
Yep.
Good on the author, because yeah, that is absolute and total horseshit. So saying that wow, I rarely see someone that honest and that sort of like telling the reader what you're about to read is bullshit. That's amazing. Who is this? I have more respect for this person. Who is this now? Ariane DeVogue, CNN Supreme Court reporter at So hey, Ariane, you get my thumbs up for the day. I don't usually see that, and I appreciate that. So Schumer and his spokespeople are full of shit, but then we kind of knew that.
Hammer, do you want to comment on that before I go off?
No, but I do agree that it's unusual to see a CNN writer say anything that's even remotely true. But Ariane is quite the looker.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up to this. This is what I woke up to today, and I saw that I cannot believe you said that. Now, an argument could be made that Chuck is just a fucking moron and was treating the justices as though they were just other political people. Which, I mean, I suppose that's possible, but that still makes him a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And the rebuttal that his campaign came out with. And no, he was talking to the Republican senators. He named Gorsuch and Kavanaugh by name.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even say the 5 conservative justices or name all 5 of them. These 2 specifically. And you're going to reap it, you guys. What he did there was fucking disgusting. And I saw a whole bunch of people on Twitter, a whole bunch, and this is part of my fucketry, but I can't help it because I'm pissed off right now. Whole bunch of people. Roberts didn't come out and say this when Trump went after Sotomayor last week. There needs to be a clarification here. What Trump said back then was that she should recuse herself for her obvious hatred of him, which, by the way, was obvious in the dissent he was talking about. There were stories all over that had nothing to do with Trump and nobody supporting Trump going, wow, Sonia Sotomayor's decision here, this is really weirdly political for a fucking Supreme Court justice. Trump didn't say, we're coming after you. He didn't say you're going to pay a price. He said they really should recuse themselves because they've shown their political bias. Those are entirely different things. What Chuck said here compared to what Trump said there, entirely different thing. Chuck could have come out and said, look, hey, I'm going to disagree with what these guys think. I think their politics is involved. And nobody would have a fucking problem with it. He could say, look, they should be recused because they've shown that they're anti-abortion, which, by the way, not true, but still, that would be similar. Comparing what Trump said to what Schumer said is absolutely fucking retarded. And I had to say that on here because you're not allowed to say retarded on Twitter. Do you know how many times I had to backspace the word retarded off of my fucking timeline today?
How many times?
Probably about 30.
What did you use instead?
Moronic or idiotic or stupid. You know, the ones that you're allowed to say.
Yeah.
Call them cretins.
Oh, man. I'm watching this shit go, you guys can't. You're not even serious. Stop it. Stop it. But did you have anything else for us tonight, Scribbles?
Nope. That was all the big stuff I had.
Oh. And for the record, Roberts has come out before. And while he didn't directly mention Trump, he did come out in favor of justices and telling people to stop accusing them of being political because they go in there to do their job.
Right.
Which we all know was directed right at Trump because he kept, talking about partisan judges. And in the Sotomayor case, though, he's absolutely right. In that dissent, she went completely political. Anyway, so that brings us on to MSS News. Guys, if there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up at Hittish up. Hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine, and we will do our best to get to them, but we can't because I can't even talk tonight, apparently, much less read.
Hit us shop.
Hit us up.
Hit us shop.
New word.
It's as close as I get to being Yiddish.
Mm-hmm. Oi, gewalt.
This is from Massive Dynamic. I think
God.
this one's kind of directed towards you, Scribbles.
Uh-oh.
Nazca. Fuck me.
Nazca?
The first 2 words are Nazca. Fuck, I did it again.
Nazca?
NASA and asks. And I just put them together. Nazca.
All right.
NASA asks for applications to go to the moon.
Okay, I'm going to name my space agency Nazca now, just out of honor of that. Okay, so applications to go to the moon, huh?
Yes, and this ad is popping up under the fucking article. I can't read it when that happens.
Don't you love that?
Jesus.
I know.
Fix
I
your fucking template, guys.
have to deal with that all the time.
NASA has asked for applications to go to the moon. It's the first time in 4 years the space agency has asked for new astronauts. It's really hard to read this, guys. I'm doing my best. The opening of the applications also comes as the company gears up to return to the moon's surface for the first time in decades, and then use that as a step onto a trip to Mars.
Yes.
U.S. citizens can apply for the program on the devoted federal website. Do they just mean NASA? Oh, usjobs.com is what the website is.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. What are the prerequisites?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, the story doesn't say. Oh.
So you're going to get a job on the moon by going to monster.com? Is that what they're saying?
Kind of, yes.
The fuck?
Let's see. Oh, wow. This is pay grade GS 13 to 14 is what it is. It's a permanent appointment type. The salary $104,000 to $161,000 a year.
Wow.
That's quite the difference, isn't it?
Yeah. Just imagine all the astronaut ice cream you could get with that.
Let's see. You have to live in Texas. There's a possibility for reimbursement if you move there.
Okay.
I
got relatives in Texas. Okay.
I'd move.
Summary: astronaut candidates will spend approximately 2 years training on the basic skills required to be an astronaut, from spacewalking and robotics to leadership and teamwork skills.
Oh, boy.
Upon completing training, they will join the active astronaut corps. How cool would it be if one of our audience did this? You guys go apply, damn it.
Oh. What if I did it?
They will join the active astronaut corps and become eligible for spaceflight assignment. Until assigned to spaceflight, they will have responsibilities within the astronaut office, ranging from, we have an astronaut office?
Sure.
All right. Ranging from supporting their fellow astronauts in space to advising on the development of new spacecraft.
Ooh. I could be like Homer Simpson designing that car.
All right. Here you go. Requirements.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Frequent travel will be required.
Okay.
Must complete a financial disclosure statement.
Easy enough.
Must meet all qualifications / education. I hate when they put that in qualifications, that you have to meet all the qualifications.
Well, what are the education requirements?
That is basic education. You have to have qualifying international science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education.
Oh.
I'm still in.
I've got an English major. I'm sunk.
If TPS is your only advanced degree, you must also complete a bachelor's degree or higher at an accredited college or university with major study in an appropriate field of engineering, biological science, physical science, computer science, or mathematics.
Oh, I'm nope, never mind, guys. No moon base for me.
I'm still in.
Oh, I don't care about you.
Yeah, but maybe I can get you in if I'm in.
What, are you gonna smuggle me on?
I'll say, yeah, but you want this guy Scribe over here just for his enthusiasm, and they'll hire you.
I mean, I'll take at least like some kind of PR or marketing position. Ooh, can I be a moon-based influencer? Maybe.
There you go.
Beautiful.
A loon influencer. I don't know. I don't have it yet. I'll have it someday.
What is this? This one comes to us from. Sorry, it's one of those where it's to a tweet, so I have to go over to the tweet. It comes from Sir Quack. Purell for $400. U.S. lawmakers urge Amazon to tamp down price gouging.
Oh yeah, my dad was talking about that. He's like, "Hey, if you find any hand sanitizer, grab it up quick." And I was like, "Well, fortunately, my office has a whole bunch. I don't have to worry about it." He's like, "Okay, good," because yeah, that stuff's gold right now.
Amazon.com should stop third-party sellers from price gouging for items like Purell hand sanitizer as people seek to protect themselves from coronavirus. U.S. Senator Edward Markey said in a letter to the online retailer on Wednesday. A box of small Purell bottles that usually sells for $10 was listed online for $400.
Jesus Christ.
One third-party seller listed a bottle for $600. A bottle for $600 on Wednesday afternoon. However, the Amazon brand of hand sanitizer was listed for $8.25 for a large bottle. Well, then just buy the fucking Amazon brand, you idiots.
Yeah. It's the same stuff.
And then it just goes on to talk about a little bit about the virus itself, because there's not much more to tell except for, there's people out there price gouging.
Yeah. Oh.
Surprise,
surprise. What?
Well, it's Frosted Glass's turn, and he's got two of them.
Is it medium?
Well, he's got one from medium and one from Slate.
Oh, Slate, because that Slate is fancy.
I think Frosted Glass deserves a title of some sort. Maybe not Colleen Bernier level, but he subs a lot of stories.
I'll think about that. I'll come up with a good name for him.
Oh, I got a name for him. But oh god, I don't know which one.
Ooh, how about senior propaganda correspondent?
Ooh.
That wouldn't be bad.
I like it.
Well, we're gonna do both of them because one is just the it's one of those ones where it's an advice thing from Slate.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna read the title.
Oh, that'd give it away.
Yeah. Frosted, I'm not reading. Oh, he's happy because he said title. I'm not reading your title. Never mind. Dear Care and Feeding, my eldest child is in kindergarten. When she's invited to a classmate's birthday party, she helps to choose and wrap a present. I typically encourage her to pick gender-neutral gifts, but she often wants to get a doll when the kid in question is a girl, ideally one that fits the party theme, like a mermaid doll for a mermaid party.
Oh, my God.
Now, I see why these people look up to their children. They are smarter than them.
Yeah, it's like the wisdom of 9-year-olds.
My trouble is that we are white and most of my kids' friends and most of the children at her school are black.
Uh-oh.
For a recent fairy party, my kid picked out the first fairy doll she saw at the store, and I steered her to choose a darker skinned version of that doll.
Oh, God.
My white kids have black dolls. If my kid chose a black doll for a white kid's birthday gift, I wouldn't object. But giving a white doll to a black child feels different. Because you're a racist.
What the fuck?
And yet, I don't want my kids to think that children should only play with dolls that match their race, and that black children specifically should only play with dolls that match their race. Am I overthinking? Should I just let my kid pick whatever gift she wants to give? Is it okay to give a black child a white doll? Should I encourage my child to choose dark-skinned toys for dark-skinned friends? Do you have like color charts of the kids?
Okay, does she? I can't wait to hear what the actual response is. But I would say, I think you may be focusing too much on skin color and just let kids have fun. Yeah. Not only skin color, but like gender roles and all this. It's like if the gift is from your kid to the other kid, let your kid pick it out and move on with your life.
I missed the last two questions. I'm sorry. He said, how should I explain it to my kids? Should I insist that we just stick with dinosaurs and science sets? Not for a fucking mermaid party.
Yeah, a dinosaur to mermaid party. That makes sense.
Honest moment, if I may. I chose this letter for two reasons. First, because it reminded me of one of my all-time favorite TV moments when Larry David inexplicably purchased a biracial doll for a white couple's baby shower, as well as a stuffed animal for the family surrogate, which led to I don't care about Curb Your Enthusiasm at all.
Yeah.
It also reminded me of the 2 times in my life that I was gifted with white dolls. When I was about 5, my white grandmother gave me a clown that played Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and I wept every time I looked at it because I was disappointed that she'd done that, but also horribly guilty about not appreciating the gift.
Yeah, you ungrateful little shit. Mm-mm. Jesus Christ. It's the wrong color.
The other one was a pre-Christmas grabbing bag at a friend's church a few years later. I was basically dabbling with religion so I could do things like get free gifts at holiday parties.
Yeah. Dabbling with, I only hear dabbling when it's like witchcraft or something. Dabbling.
Perhaps I'd be Christian today if they just considered that all the kids at the event were black, so the dolls should be as well.
What a bunch of racists.
Yep. Exactly.
There's a big difference between a black girl playing with a white doll and a white girl playing with a black one. No, I'm done.
Oh, there is? There is? Really?
I'm
oh,
done.
my God.
You guys want to read this shit? It's in the chat. No, fuck you, lady. Fuck you.
I've been shaking my head no the entire article. No.
Yeah, what you should tell this woman is no, stop it. That's it. Good God. And the other one for Frosted, and this is the one I actually want to read. It will be hard to get over what happened to Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, what happened to Elizabeth Warren?
I've had to come to terms with America's sexism again and again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is Jessica Valenti. Didn't she write one like this already?
Jessica Valenti writes the same article 5 times and just switches out the names.
I knew I mean like this specific article.
Well, what's the date on it?
Today.
Okay, it could be. She might be, like I said, she might be recycling.
I knew going into Super Tuesday that Elizabeth Warren was unlikely to win big. I'd prepared myself for that.
Then why are you upset?
What did take me by surprise, though, was just how poorly she fared. Even in her home state of Massachusetts, she finished third. Warren's team says the senator is taking ... to assess a path forward. You mean time?
Yeah.
But it's hard to imagine a viable presidential campaign after last night.
Yeah.
It's enough to make me feel, well, despairing.
Oh.
That we had a candidate of a lifetime, someone with the energy, vision, and follow through to lead the country out of our nightmarish era, and that the media and voters basically outright erased and ignored her.
Oh, you mean including the female voters who said, even in our own state, we don't like her?
The overwhelming number of voters are women in pretty much every election.
No, we don't pay attention to that monkey.
Oh God. Pundits will have their theories. Fears over electability will likely be their number one explanation. No, she's not a good candidate.
Yeah.
She's a liar.
She basically
on
said
video.
And she basically told everybody before the Super Tuesday that her entire campaign is just a spoiler. She's not even there seriously anymore.
Don't tell me this isn't about sexism. I've been around too long for that.
Oh, well, it's not about sexism, you idiot.
Even just supporting Warren has come with an unbearable amount of misogynistic condensation. Condensation.
There's a lot of water involved.
You know,
a lot of water.
Misogynistic condensation. That's, I think I need a towelette.
I'm tired of being told that I'm a single issue voter because I care about a candidate's gender, even if it's not the only thing I care about. I'm over being made to feel as if representation for half the population isn't a necessary and radical political position.
That's not how representation works in government, my dear. I hate to tell you this.
I don't appreciate being told that I'm either anti-revolution because I didn't support Bernie or unrealistic because I won't vote for Joe Biden. I especially resent the theory being bandied about that Warren somehow stole votes from Sanders. It's nonsense. No, it's true.
Well, you steal as an inactive. Well, since she told us she's a spoiler for Bernie, she actively, I mean, for all intents and purposes, her presence in this entire thing was to steal votes from Bernie. And effectively, which is really bizarre, she's stealing votes from Bernie and helping Biden, who she presumably does not want to win or is diametrically opposed to ideologically, but yet that's what she did last night.
Whoever's the nominee, their campaign is going to have to come to terms with the intense misogyny so many female voters have to deal with and understand that it is an issue we care deeply about. And their supporters are going to have to let us be sad, depressed even, that once again we're going to watch a race to leadership between old white men.
Oh, don't worry. Bernie's going to pick a woman for VP and Biden's going to pick a woman for VP. Don't worry.
As for me, she goes on to say that, people will show up for the Democratic nominee. As for me, I need a minute. Last night, my 9-year-old daughter came over to me because I looked upset. When I told her I was sad because I felt like I would never see a woman become president, she said, well, you will see at least one, me. I wanted her to be able to hold on to that optimism because the truth is that I'm fresh out of hope to give her.
The enamel on my teeth is melting off.
Well, give her a pinky promise. Isn't that how it works? A pinky promise. Oh, for fuck's sake. How about this? Democrats, seriously, all you vagina voters out there, find a good woman to run.
Are you calling Elizabeth Warren not a good woman?
No, she's a horrific liar.
Oh.
They can't even find a good person to run.
Fair enough.
Well, good people don't get involved in politics is the problem.
If you look at the three women that have had any kind of momentum, and I'm counting Amy in this one because she lasted as long as she did.
Uh-huh.
You have Hillary, who was a horrific bitch, just literally did not have a stance that she wouldn't take if she thought it would give her a vote. You have Elizabeth Warren, who spent her entire life lying about her heritage to get ahead. She actually used the whole Indian. Guys, when we joke about the Indian thing, it's not just because, haha, she thought she was Indian. No, she's actually used this to further herself. She's told that story at political rallies. She told that to help get herself elected in Massachusetts. She used that for political gain. She's a fucking horrific liar. And then you have Amy, who's just reportedly a complete cunt to her staff.
What about Tulsi?
Tulsi didn't have a chance.
Oh, but she's pretty.
Tulsi doesn't have a chance because she's still in it.
She's still in it. But she didn't have a chance when she got in it. So,
but she's number 5, so we don't count her.
Yeah, she's way down the list.
That's a monkey in the morning reference.
Yeah. Kirsten Gillibrand had a better chance of getting elected than Tulsi does.
Oh,
that's just fact.
Well, they used her picture, so.
Let's see. What is this one here? Worrying lipstick chain. Okay. Shrouded sends this one. Pop back up. Come on. There we are. Worrying lipstick challenge sees people trying to prove how skinny they are.
A photograph and/or a scale will do that.
A bizarre and concerning new social media challenge is taken off, which sees people attempting to balance a lipstick on their collarbone. Well, the picture you show is not them actually balancing it on their collarbone. It's in that little soft spot behind the collarbone. The collarbone is that bone you see there yet. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks to famous faces like Lizzo and Jamel, I don't know how you say that person's name. We are currently living in a time where body positivity is having a big impact.
Yeah.
We've been embracing and encouraging people to love the skin they're in, no matter their shape or size. But sadly, there are still some who think the ideal body size is a skinny body. Time out. Back up.
Find skinny.
Wait, before we even get to define skinny, we're encouraging people to love the body they're in, but you find some who see the ideal one as skinny. What if they are skinny?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be their ideal?
Are they not allowed to love themselves if they're skinny?
Anyway, this is I'm going to throw this in the chat. There's a lot of pictures that go with it. It's just people who are, they're balancing a lipstick on its end in that space right behind the collarbone.
Sounds like a trick you do in like junior high or something.
Well, some skinny bitch did it, and now other people are trying it. And
well, at least it's not eating Tide Pods. I mean, it's fairly innocuous in that sense.
Fat girls could do that if they had the right rolls. It could hug it.
Oh,
just stick it in there.
Is that the sound it makes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's great. That is sweat and chicken fat.
Sounded like an irritated duck.
Well, sweat and chicken fat.
There's nothing wrong with skinny, depending how far you take it. Like Barbara for you to see, skinny, yes.
Yeah.
Eugenia Cooney, skinny, no.
Yeah. I mean, there's unhealthy, and then there's like, it's fine, whatever.
There are people who are naturally thin.
Yeah.
And we seem to have this idea, thanks to people like Lizzo, that fat tub of shit.
Oh, God.
Where we're supposed to think everybody is just fat. They're not. That's not even normal. That's us eating too much. Eating too much and not moving enough. It's not the natural human state. It's actually bad for us.
How dare you make that judgment, Monkey?
I know.
God
Damn science.
Personal anecdote: when I weighed in for the hospital today, I was 219, and I haven't been 219 since I was in high school.
Congrats, dude.
Yeah, very happy with that. I've been sitting at 220 forever.
Nice to come down. Yeah, I've actually shot up like 7 pounds. Like, oof, I've been eating too much.
I'm trying to hit 200.
I'm still 165.
Oh,
I'm one of those, like, I'm just naturally thin. Or
how tall are you?
5'10".
Please dox yourself. 5'10". Well, I'm 6'3". I'm never going to be
myself. Yeah, 5'10". Boy, oh boy, identifying marks right there.
And this last one's coming to us from Mashishu. Former Counter-Strike pro receives a 116-year sentence, which she may not have to serve.
Right.
She's hot too.
What's that?
She's hot.
She's Brazilian.
Yeah. Do you see a picture of her?
Yeah. But she's like what, like 19 or 20 or something?
She looks like she's literally been face rolling. Her face is kind of flat. Jack would probably like her. She's kind of got an Asian vibe going.
Yeah, she's hot.
Cheyenne Shea Victorio made her name on the Brazilian Counter-Strike circuit. ESPN reports. ESPN is reporting on fucking gamers.
Esports is a thing. Lots of money.
It's not a sport.
I get
ESPN reports that, look, I'm a gamer. I'm not insulting gaming at all, but esports ain't a fucking sport. It's watching people play a video game.
Well, Counter-Strike shouldn't be a video game. It should be the TV show from USA starring Christopher Plummer.
Look, if they want to do this live where they're actually shooting each other and trying to dismantle bombs, then I'll call it a sport, because that'll be some running and jumping and some real shit.
Oh, my God.
ESPN reports that the former pro has been served a 116-year prison sentence in the wake of fraud charges. According to ESPN, Victorio ran an online store between 2013 and 2017. Her sentence was due to the charge that 118 customers did not receive the goods they purchased. Even though the former gaming pro has been sentenced, because of the country's legal system, she has not been arrested, nor is she in police custody.
Great.
ESPN explains that under Brazilian law, she is able to appeal the sentence. If she loses all of her appeals, then she would serve her jail time. However, the longest she can serve is 30 years, which is the maximum amount of time somebody can be jailed in Brazil, no matter the length of the original sentence.
What, even if you've murdered somebody?
Well, then why don't you just say 30 years?
Yeah, what's the point of saying 116? Brazil's weird.
That's a weird fucking thing to have. Why would you be able to sentence more than 30 years if nobody has to serve more than 30 years?
And I'm wondering, is 30 years, is that like the maximum total, like for any crime, or just like, seriously? Like, so
maximum for any crime, murder, 30 years.
So could I have, like, if I do multiple counts of murder, would I have consecutive 30-year sentences, or just 30 years cumulative? I might be asking a rhetorical question. I'm just like bewildered by this logic.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I wish I had answers for you.
Yeah,
Ron Corp says, then ESPN shouldn't show poker. That's not a sport. It's not a sport. Poker's not a sport. It's a game. Just like Monopoly's not a sport. It's a fucking game.
I don't know.
I love poker. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a sport. And I like watching poker, but it's not
Monopoly can turn into a full contact sport. Just saying.
I believe that's just violence.
That's happened.
Not all violence is a sport.
Okay, football.
That's a sport, though. They're playing a specific game.
Okay.
The violence is just a part of that game.
Right,
but with that, guys, thank you for your submissions to the hashtag. Sorry we couldn't get to more of them, but just because I can't read.
Oh, yeah. Monkey's illiterate, guys.
These things happen.
Send money so we can get hooked on phonics.
That's going to bring us to the YouTube's time. And Scribbles, what you been up to?
Not much. The work stuff and everything else has drained a lot of my time. However, I did find something that will probably become a live stream probably this weekend, or at least one part, because it's a very short little video. It's purported to be an actual guide on how to check for bias in a job interview, like in hiring. And I'm like, oh, because I've always wondered, and I've asked this many times. It's like, how do you actually hire for diversity. What does that look like on the inside? I've almost never seen or heard anyone give specifics. So I'm curious to find out if this is some kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, or if it's actually meant to be serious advice. I haven't watched it, but it's from a familiar source, not TEDx, but from someone I've done a video on before. So that's what I found today. I might do something on that. And otherwise, that's all I got right now.
George Mason in chat is saying it is just 30 years maximum total. So
wow, that's insane.
That is insane.
That's crazy. All right.
Hammer, what you been up to?
Not much, playing around with the minions. We've had a little bit of a fencing match. I sent you guys DMs about it that I've been tracking down all the information for. But besides that, just making sure the show's running okay and getting into trouble on Twitter.
Fair enough. I see. I think I did a monkey in the morning. I can't remember, to be honest.
You did.
Did I?
You got the number of candidates wrong. Remember?
No, that was one before.
Oh,
that was right after Pete dropped out. Right? Yeah.
I would look, but my subscription list doesn't work anymore.
No, I did the election results last night. Biden is such a bad candidate, you guys. I can't believe he's going to be the standard bearer. I mean, I knew he was going to be once he jumped in, but at that time, I didn't realize how much of his mind he'd already lost.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked. I am shocked. But anyhow,
it's bowling.
Dam says, I don't think you did. I swear I did.
Yeah. And you're relying on your own memory now?
No, because I played video games with Satsu for a little bit. Then I jumped into Monkey in the Morning, and then I went and played video games by myself for a while before I went to sleep.
Subscriptions is working again, at least for me.
So, yeah, they're telling me I did. Okay, thank you guys. But otherwise, I haven't done anything on the YouTube today. Which brings us on to the Humpetry. And Scribbles, you got any Humpetry?
Not really that I haven't already talked about. Mentioning the Biden sweep, even in states. For God's sake, sorry, I'm getting messages from work. I'll be back in a minute.
Sure. Oh, and in chat, yeah, they're bringing up. I did talk about that. You're right. One of the things we talked about was Cenk lost. Cenk lost his bid for California 25.
Oh, California, so we can no more horse fucking. No.
Yeah, California has this system where just the top two winners face each other, and the top two, I want to say, had like 30 and 20%, and then Cenk was way down at the bottom with the 5%.
Did he even do a debate or anything?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
we watched
it in a debate. Did he screw that one up?
Yeah, because he repeated a bunch of absolute lies.
Oh, geez. Of course. Anyway, Scribbles.
Yes.
Did you have Humpetry?
Oh, like I said, I kind of talked about the ones I already did. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm at work. I'm back to every free moment I can spare is put into this giant analysis project that I'm going to be doing for like the next forever. So, yeah, a lot of my extra thinking time during my workday, where I would be like taking a break from this, that, or the other to check Twitter and such, is kind of reduced. So it's going to be a fun next few months, I guess. Yeah, sorry.
All right, and Hammer.
Well, I have one thing that's been an issue, but I wanted to promote. Can I promote someone else? Somebody I follow on Twitter? Because women, there's a lot of back and forth about whether women are funny or not, and all the comedians and stuff like that. I found somebody on Twitter who's just a married or a single mom, couple of kids. That I think it's just hilarious. Her perspective is just so funny. Her last tweet was, remember, if you're being attacked by penguins, run in a zigzag pattern. And I thought I laughed. Thought it was funny. Penguins, zigzag pattern. That's kind of funny.
I get you.
So I sent back, well, I would probably run in a circle. It wouldn't be as effective, but it would certainly be adorable. So we went back and forth, like 10 little jabs back and forth. By the end, I was laughing my ass off.
But by all means, you can.
So anyway,
have a name.
Who is it?
Yes. Well, I just want to get a yes or no from you before I said her name. She is at Jamie2181. JAMIE.
Is she a comedian or something, or just a
No,
person?
she's a housewife.
Oh, you don't. Oh.
MILF. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous. She is gorgeous. No doubt about that.
Mhm.
But yeah. Anyway, and the other thing I had was, of course, it wouldn't be a day ending in Y if I wasn't sword fighting with Claudia.
Oh God.
She just doesn't understand some things. I have to give her a certain amount of room because the way they do things in Australia and the way they do things here is just not the same. Their Democratic Party there, the party has the power, not the person running the party.
Mhm.
The person running the party makes suggestions. The party decides whether it's going to happen, and then it happens. We have a party led by a person. The person decides, and then it happens. Even if it comes down to executive order, the person running, like Bernie, would write it. Became president, executive order, whatever he says, kind of goes as long as he stays away from the Constitution. Their process is not the same. So we spent a lot of time back and forth about which one was better. Eventually, she just stops talking to me when I prove her wrong. So that was my only real fun today.
All right. Hang on. I just saw a tweet. Saving.
You saw a tweet on Twitter?
Later. I wanted to have to actually tweet out so I can save it for Monkey in the Morning later. Because I can't watch it right now. It's a video. It's AOC was apparently on with Fredo Cuomo.
Uh-oh.
But I can't wait to check into that. Let's see. What do I got today? Cenk Yuger tweeted it. Cenk, the loser Yuger, tweeted out, Bernie was asked to give his endorsement of me back because of jokes I made several decades ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Then shouldn't everyone be asking Joe Biden to obviously give back Mike Bloomberg's endorsement based on the horrible racist things he indisputably said and did in applying stop and frisk?
No, because you see, Cenk, I hate to tell you this, but Joe Biden operates on a far greater level than you do.
Well, I mean, you can ask for it, Cenk. You can.
Yeah.
But you're the one who told Bernie to take back the endorsement.
Right. You
could have hung on to Bernie's endorsement.
Yeah.
And probably done decent for yourself, at least better than 5%.
Well, it would look even worse if Bernie took it back.
Sure.
Because after just giving it away and then whoops, never mind. So yeah, you did the least embarrassing thing of the two things, which was still ridiculously embarrassing. But I mean, basically taking it back means you're admitting guilt to the whole thing.
Yeah, and
sour grapes. Cenk is upset that he didn't win, and now he's got to get back into his mode of being Mr. Political Commentator guy, and I guess this is his return to that.
There's no doubt that some of what you were saying were jokes, Cenk. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible attempts to be edgy that weren't actually all that funny. But when you're talking about having sex with animals for their enjoyment, that doesn't seem like a joke to me, especially when you've done it repeatedly.
Mention it repeatedly, or
mention it repeatedly, yes.
we don't know what he's done in his private.
What he's actually done, I can't say.
Yeah.
For all I know, yeah, he's pleasured horses before.
Oh,
jeez.
I'm sorry.
You ever see Tom Green and Freddie Got Fingered?
Never seen Freddie Got Fingered.
Oh, well, there's a scene there that is strangely applicable.
Oh, now I got to go watch it.
Oh, no, all right.
Yeah, so poor Cenky boy, he's having a rough day.
Oh,
what else? What do we have going on here? Dusty Smith. Yeah, this one. Don't want to save this. We can go ahead and jump into it now.
Okay.
He retweeted a picture of June's Twitter, both the bio, and the screenshot at the top.
Okay.
And the screenshot at the top is actually, it's somebody's taken where Bernie Sanders was writing something on a whiteboard and they erased it and put in what they wanted it to say. And it says, "Don't stop bullying people online. The strategy is working."
Okay.
And then her actual bio reads, quote, "The literal page of the dumbest bitch," unquote, chew on head /brainlet on YouTube. Official Mike Bloomberg hate account at Armored Skeptics #1 fangirl, #Bernie 2020.
Not so much a fangirl as a fiance at this point, but whatever.
Well, It could be the same thing.
I guess.
And Dusty said this. I know I'm going to take a lot of shit for this, but is it possible this type of behavior is actually not helping and is instead turning people off? Is it possible we should actually listen to some of the criticism people have about Bernie supporters and try to clean up our own side a bit?
Self-awareness?
Well, kind of yes and no. And here's why I say no. I don't think it's hurting Bernie. I don't think there's anybody out there who was going to support Bernie who was like, I'm going to vote for Bernie. I love Medicare. Wait, that guy's being a dick and he supports Bernie too. Well, I'm going to go vote for Joe. I don't think that's a reality. I think it's a sad cop-out, to be honest. And I think that some of Bernie's supporters are Bernie supporters because of the people that are Bernie supporters. And what I mean by that is take some of the edgelords we know, people who in 2016 supported Trump for very similar reasons and have latched on to the Bernie crowd and all of their edginess. How about I put it that way? It's almost a brand at this point for Bernie supporters to be the Bernie bros. You know, it's you get them in there. That's it. I can't tell you how many of these people I've seen say, I hate Democrats. Well, why are you fucking gonna vote for a Democrat then?
No, he's really an independent. Come on.
He's really not.
Right.
Although I do support Bernie Sanders running third party. Bernie, dude, the DNC keeps fucking you. Go run third party.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but I've seen this a lot. You know, you got to stop. And look, I'm not telling you not to try to clean up your side, but don't do it. Don't do it under the guise that you're hurting the campaign or that you're driving people away. How about let's not be shitty people, because being shitty people is a bad thing to do.
Well, they don't think they're being shitty people. You know, Dr. Doom thinks he's the hero of Latveria. So,
yeah, but in this instance, this is what he's obviously seeing that there's a problem there, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And instead, we're driving people away. But wait. Is it bad behavior though? Because if it's not, then shut the fuck up. He does go on to say, this is just one example of this, but honestly, I see this toxic behavior. See, toxic behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly from a lot of Bernie supporters. And I see this kind of thing continuously pointed out by opponents of Bernie. As much as I love Bernie, some of the criticism of his supporters is legitimate. Okay. But your original point was that it was turning people off.
Why don't we see this kind of behavior from both of Tulsi's supporters?
Nico, thank you so much. To be honest, Show doesn't know politics. Oh, Shu, I'm guessing. To be honest, Shu doesn't know politics. You know what? I watched her video yesterday on Brainlit because she put it out before the primary started. And I'm watching it after we already know the results. And I'm cringing for her because she is so far off the mark. And she knows something bad's gonna happen, that Bernie's not going to perform as well because Pete and Amy had dropped out. But it's like she doesn't understand just how bad it's about to be and why. And yeah, I agree. I don't think Shu knows a lot about politics. I really don't.
She just hung up on Bernie and she won't see anything else.
What's that?
She's hung up on Bernie, so she can't see anything else. Her field of vision is 5 degrees left or right. Well, she can't see anything past Bernie. And I agree with you there, but you can support somebody like that. And there's a lot of the criticism she's had of like the press and stuff and how they've treated Bernie, which is absolutely valid. But not paying attention to just how small she keeps you. He's a populist, just like Trump was a populist. She actually says that. I'm like, not exactly. Not exactly. Trump was a populist. Go America. In America. You know what I mean? That's a little bit different than everything this country's done is wrong, you fuckheads.
Yeah,
we're going to tear everything platform.
Yeah, we're going to tear everything down and build it back up again. And the thing is, it's like I watched this summary from John Oliver. I don't usually watch John Oliver, but for whatever reason, YouTube said, "Hey, you should look at this." I'm like, okay, whatever. And he went over the facts, or at least the facts from his perspective. And I'm happy to be corrected if he's wrong, about Medicare for all or healthcare for everyone. And he said, it could work by the math. It could do this, the National Health Service in Britain, yada, yada, yada. But at least at the end of it, he said, now, I'm not saying there aren't difficulties politically with getting this done. And I'm like, yeah, but that is a factor you have to take into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take into consideration the fact that this country rarely makes changes at the turn of a dime. It rarely does, especially massive change to policy or systems or anything else. It has, and you've complained about this before, how the Supreme Court decided gay marriage, where it would probably have been healthier for the country if each state came to its own conclusion rather than being told what to do. Bernie there may be some good ideas in Bernie's campaign. Bernie will get none of them done, even if he were elected president, because the Democrats do not want to give up their power of their ideology to Bernie Sanders and socialism, and the Republicans won't even help him. So he'll have no leverage to do any of those things. So voting for Bernie will not get you what Bernie is promising. It may change the party. Now, if that's what you're looking to do, if you're looking to try to change the direction of the party and force politicians and a whole different kind of down ballot thing in the off year stuff, that might happen. There may be some changes there. Maybe it's a long-term plan thing to get Bernie into office, but you're not going to get what he's promising.
What if he executive orders some stuff? Can he do that?
Well, he can't
Not with the changes he's talking about.
Yeah, the only way that his changes happen is if he alters or increases taxes in places, and executive orders can't do that. And if he tried to do it, the Supreme Court would knock him out so fast that he wouldn't know what direction it was coming from.
But couldn't you use executive orders to move money around like Trump's doing with the military budget to build his wall?
Well, in theory, you could say, like, because Trump's rationale there is national emergency to keep the border safe.
Right.
He could say that it's a national emergency. We got to take care of these people. The only problem is his programs cost more than we're spending.
Right.
So he would have to redirect the entire federal budget plus some.
Yeah, and there's no way. Well, I mean, just on its face, neither party would let him do that.
No,
because and not even if it wasn't about healthcare, if it was about anything, setting the precedent that the president can direct the entire national budget towards their pet project, it wouldn't happen. Like I say, Bernie is an empty bag of promises. Not to say that his ideas don't sound good. And trust me, like I say, if somebody put a plan in front of me that said, this is how we stop people going bankrupt from getting sick, that I'd immediately turn away and dismiss it completely without looking at it. But as a candidate, as a platform made of nothing but promises for free this, free that, and everything else, he's a waste of time. But like I say, if your intent is to start changing the direction of the Democratic conversation going forward for the next 20 years, maybe that would work. Maybe that would start changing things in a fashion, but you're not going to get what he's promising.
Let's see. Up next, we had, where the hell did my tab go? There it is. I saw people freaking out because Twitter is adding a stories, what do they call it? Fleet?
What? On Fleek? What?
I forget the name of it, but it's a stories thing like you can do on Facebook and you can do on apparently Snapchat. I don't use these features because I'm
Remind me, what is a stories thing then? I don't use Facebook either.
It's kind of like a long list of tweets, but like you have pictures and stuff to explain like your day or some stupid I don't use this shit.
It's slideshow TikTok.
Kind of.
Yeah, very much.
All right.
It's on my Twitter for iPhone all the time. It's a pain. I can't get rid of it.
Well, this is not Moments. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of, because this is just coming out soon. So maybe you have a test one, because they do test these things before they put them out. But a lot of people are very upset that they did this instead of an edit button.
No, for God's
I want to reiterate my support of never, ever, ever having an edit button on Twitter. I don't want it. If you are that worried about your spelling mistakes, get a fucking editor, get Grammarly. I don't know what you need. But I do not like the idea of people being able to go in and completely edit something they said 3 months ago, or even something they said yesterday.
What happens if
Because I've seen that shit happen. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What happens if it's a 30-second edit?
Giving somebody like 30 seconds to do it?
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, I suppose
you know,
so, but
correct spelling or
I
something.
wonder how many people actually spot their errors within 30 seconds.
Me. As soon as I post them, I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Or if you only get one edit, but there's a change log.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, but see, it'd have to be a full change log and not just it was changed yesterday at X time.
No, there'd be a change log. Yeah, I mean, like it would show what the thing looked like before the edit. And if you have to do more than one edit, you're just going to have to delete the tweet and start over again or something.
Yeah, if I notice something right away, that's what I do. I delete it and put the new one up. Yep. But I've seen fucking news stories. How many times, Scribbles, I know it's happened to you, where you've read a news story. Mm-hmm. You know it said something.
Yep.
But when you went to it later, that was gone. And there's not even this was changed at X and X time.
Well, yeah, it's usually say something like this is a developing story or something. The best I've been able to do in some cases is the Wayback Machine for some historical stuff. Like I did a video recently, and for whatever, I forget I think it was the Chris Eliza video, and I wanted to cite the Covington reporting when it first came out. And of course, the article now reads completely differently than how they promoted at the beginning. So fortunately, the Wayback Machine has the first iteration of it in an archive, so I could look at that. But yeah, I think if you get one edit on a tweet within, let's say, the first 20 minutes or something, maybe 30 seconds is too short a time, something like that, whatever. But there's a change log of what happened. I'd be fine with that.
Well, the problem with doing it, say, like 10 minutes, you have some people that 10 minutes in, there's thousands and thousands of views. And, 9 minutes in, you change that to say something completely different.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I look, you know what people need to do? They need to get over the fact that sometimes we fuck up. I saw a tweet from Chris Eliza yesterday, was it?
Oh, my God.
Maybe it was the day before, where he's actually, because Donald Trump tweeted something out and there was a fucking error in it. He spelled chalk full or chalk wrong. He spelled it choke.
Okay.
Or he spelled chalk. I'm sorry. Either way, he goes, is he just doing this on purpose? I don't understand why he makes so many mistakes. I'm like, excuse me.
Wait, Chris Eliza complained about Trump making spelling errors?
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
What the fuck? I'm probably one of the few people who's read more Chris Eliza on my own than any other person on the planet. And that's fucking hilarious. I wish I'd seen that tweet. I would have looked up some of his greatest hits and sent them back to him.
Yeah, I'm like, you've got to be shitting. You of all people having the balls to say that. Is it this one? No. I'm trying to find it for you, Scribbles, because you would love it.
It's all right. I mean, he'll do it again. I mean, knowing him, he'll come across something. He'll complain about somebody's.
Here it is. Yeah, it's from March 3rd. I'll throw it into the stream chat. There you go.
Okay.
He says, I don't understand. Does he actually believe this is how choker is spelled? It's just some weird autocorrect on his phone. Is he doing it on purpose for some unknown reason? And Trump's original tweet is gone. But like, Chris, you do this on your fucking website.
And he's looking for a conspiracy theory in Trump's thinking of spelling this, or is he just being melodramatic?
I think he's being melodramatic to point out, haha, Trump made a boo-boo.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you do it all the time. And you're a paid writer.
Yeah, no shit.
He
makes more than Trump does.
I said this the other day. I would purposefully, if I was Donald Trump, I would never send out a tweet without a fuck up in it. Not one. Just to watch him freak out.
Yeah.
Let's see. CNN, there was an article they put out today by, I forget the guy, David Gergen. There it is. These are the 3 keys to Joe Biden's comeback, writes David Gergen. Number 1, the black community in South Carolina turned out in force. Number 2, Democrats seem to pay serious attention to what Bernie Sanders' nomination might mean. And 3, Biden himself. Are you drunk? I could maybe give you the South Carolina thing. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for the fact we already knew that was going to happen. The only time that ever came into question was the week before. And that's only because you guys, in your awesome polls, suddenly they put Bernie way up there with Biden. Biden had been leading that way the whole time. So that's why I don't give you that one. The 3 keys to success was Bloomberg being a shitty candidate, Amy dropping out, and Pete dropping out. It is literally that easy. That's it. Biden hasn't helped himself in this campaign. Are you drunk? This didn't just last night he mistook his sister for his wife?
Yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
Biden, okay.
Biden's running for Senate. Did you hear?
Yeah,
I know.
Right?
I hate to get on the Bernie conspiracy train, but come on, the media is so in the bag for Biden. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons I would love to see Bernie run and get the nomination, because I would like to see the press have to decide who they hate more,
Right.
Trump or Bernie.
Yeah.
Do you really think the DNC is going to give him the nom?
Oh, fuck no.
Who? Bernie?
He would,
no.
He'd have to win the 50%, and then they couldn't stop him. But
yeah, exactly. He would have to be in a situation where there's no way to deny it by the rules, and no, it's going to go brokered, and like Bernie will end up with, I don't know, he might be a percentage point or 7 above Biden, but they'll give it to Biden.
Excuse me. And then of course there was the people with the Supreme Court and Chucky Schumer.
Yeah,
there's lots of that on my timeline if you want to see it. But this one was from last night about the about the rigged primary. This is one of the tweets. Elizabeth Warren took away hundreds of thousands of progressive votes from Bernie for just staying in with no chance whatsoever, resulting in big wins for Biden. Yep. Don't tell me the system is not against Bernie. Hashtag rigged primary. Hashtag Super Tuesday results. I don't disagree with that. That she took those away.
If Biden wins, and if Biden becomes president, do you think we see Elizabeth Warren with some cabinet position? Do you think maybe she because otherwise she's just doing this out of spite. That's the only thing that makes any sense otherwise.
I don't know, out of spite. Maybe now out of spite, but I don't think that's why she's in the race. And maybe after the whole "you made me look like a liar on TV," it's out of spite.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to the brokered convention, which probably isn't even allowed in the rules anymore exactly, she could always give her votes to him. But even more so, I mean, yes, she took these votes away from Bernie because those votes would have went to him. Bloomberg's votes would have went to Biden. So if you're going to pull the Warren thing, you have to do the same with Bloomberg. And in those states that Biden won, that a lot of people thought Bernie was going to before Amy and Pete dropped out. If you take away both Warren and Bloomberg, Biden still wins, except he actually wins bigger. It's not rigged. It's politics. And your candidate sucks.
Yeah.
He's a commie, for fuck's sake. Stop it. You just can't get it through to him that he's a bad candidate. Because they're on the Bernie train. Woo woo. But yeah, that's all I have. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat now. It'd be a great time for you to do so that we can, answer them and reply to them. That's kind of how this section works. So if you have those things, throw them in now. And we'll do our best to look at it. People have been telling us in the chat that the subscription feature is working again. Well,
yeah, it's working for me.
So there is that. Don't be surprised if some weird shit doesn't start happening around Twitter YouTube the next couple of days. Every time we have a glitch like this, guys, every time some new change comes. Yeah. We've seen it over and over again. So I'm expecting to see a YouTube blog any day now telling us that didn't Sargon just get demonetized?
Did he? I don't know. I don't Sargon much anymore.
I watched the quarterings video because the quartering, you dirty clickbaiter, you actually got me to click. But he seems to think there's some new purge coming because Sargon got demonetized. Thunderfoot is like completely buried in the algorithm.
Wow.
And iHypocrite, his channel's just gone. As of March 2nd, it just disappeared with no reason, really. He got a little thing saying that for hate speech, a video was removed, but yeah, then his whole channel just kind of gone. If the media had to decide whether they hate Trump or Sanders more, would Trump constantly defending Sanders have anything to do with their answer? Oh, I don't know. I think they would just ignore that. They've mostly ignored him defending Sanders anyway. Thank you, Alpha Omega. Scribe might get the reference. We need more Qui-Gon. Accidental Jedi ancient Jedi secret, huh? There we go.
What?
We need more Qui-Gon, ancient Jedi secret.
If you could read things, if you could read things correctly, I might be able to understand these references.
You got the chat? Look at that shit.
We need more Qui-Gon.
I read it.
I don't get the reference, unfortunately.
Oh. Fucker. Blame it on me.
I'll blame it on you. You're the one that's supposedly reading the thing.
I did read it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that TBN?
Other people running against the person I equals rigged. Oh, I like equals rigged. Well, yeah, that's kind of the way it's become. And with Bernie, I mean, again, if Clinton would have just treated him on the up and up, and the DNC treated him on the up and up in 2016, Bernie would have went away. He would have lost fair and square, as he did, but they made him a martyr. And now every time that, look, the media is definitely against him. So I would say the media is rigged against him.
Sure.
But the election itself, no, everything's been on the up and up so far.
Yeah.
And if Hillary had just done that in the first place, instead of being a dirty twat. Oh, where was I? Boom, boom. This is jumping already. Stop it.
Crisscross.
Oh, but as to the, I don't think the media could hate Trump anymore. So, but I don't think the media really wants, there's a lot of rich people in the media. That part, Carlos Maza was right about. I mean, Chris Matthews came out and quite said, look, I'm the kind of person he's going to be taxing. I'm the one he's going to take the money from. So can I say I listen to political pundits regularly thanks to you guys? Well, Mike, you could, but I am a certified investigative journalist.
Yeah, as compared to most of the subjects that we read every night.
Using the language they use, I am an investigative journalist.
Yeah, we're right up there with TYT, guys.
Cody Fry, thank you. Putting Satsu to work, I see. About time he learned his place. Satsu's not here, right?
What's up, Doe?
Well done.
What up, Doe?
What would surprise you more, the Bengals beating the Chiefs or Bernie winning the general election?
Ooh, the Bengals walk like an Egyptian?
The Bernie winning, to be honest. Because in football, there's any given Sunday. Anybody can win. It does. Even the worst team can beat the best team if things just go wrong.
You ever see the movie Any Given Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah. Robert De Niro, right?
Al Pacino.
Jimmy Fox.
Yep.
Got one right.
So
Jimmy Fox.
I got a trivia thing about that, and I think it's true. So at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, Al Pacino's character goes to coach a fake, because all the teams in the movie are fake. He goes to coach a team called the Aztecs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And several years later, there's a Al Pacino movie with Matthew McConaughey called Two for the Money, which is about sports betting. And the team that Matthew McConaughey, I believe either he was playing on, because the whole deal is that his character was a football star and then he got injured and then he had to find a new line of work. The team he was either playing on or playing against in the flashback scene was the Aztecs. And I'm not saying that those two movies technically exist in the same universe, because Al Pacino's playing a different character. But I just thought it was, I could never figure out, like, was that intentional because of the whole football connection, or, because that little piece of trivia.
That's a great callback.
I never watched either of those movies that closely enough.
for what I just remembered that part of the end of Any Given Sunday, and when I saw Two for the Money, and it's not. I mean, it's Rene Russo and Al Pacino, so it's okay. I mean, it's not a great movie or anything. It's okay, but for whatever reason, because my trivia brain just does that kind of thing. As soon as that happened, I was like, hey, wait a second. So
they do that all the time. Did you? I'm sure you've seen Firefly, right?
The TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once all of the way through. Yeah,
the way Mal was dressed. You seen the television show Castle? There's an episode where he comes out in Mal's uniform.
Oh, I've never watched Castle.
Yeah, he dresses up as Halloween. As
I knew there's a whole bunch of references in that show to it. Yeah, I mean, there's one in the movie or the TV show The Killing, which is now on Netflix. The lady who played Jewel State, whatever character, what was her character's name? The mechanic in Firefly.
Yeah,
I forget what her name was. Anyway, so there's a scene in The Killing when her boyfriend gets out of bed. He's got this big tattoo on his back that just says Serenity. And it just I forget if she says something about it, but I was just like, oh no, you didn't.
Now when Castle comes out dressed like that, his daughter says to him, what are you dressed as? And he goes, a space cowboy. She goes, there's no cowboys in space. Besides, didn't you wear that like 7 years ago?
Womp womp.
It's a great line.
It's perfect.
If I can have my own MSS News name, can I be corner correspondent Frosted Glass? I feel like that's probably fitting.
Appropriate.
Mata, oh lords, would you like a tortoiseshell cat? I don't know what it is.
I had one.
A cat that's got the tortoiseshell pattern on it.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be averse to such a thing, I guess. Sure.
I mean, I like cats, but for me, a calico, tabby, or my little patches.
Yeah, as long as it's short hair, because long hair messes up my allergies or whatever.
Maine Coons are great. They actually have both.
Yeah, no, my parents have they have one of those. Used to have two. Yeah.
Tabbies have both. There's short and long hair tabbies too.
No, Maine Coon. It's on one body.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have their hair is short. Their head is short, and then it goes into this long mane.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Wow.
I saw someone dead ass saying that Bernie didn't get more support from the 18 to 29 demographic because, quote, those people are working 2 to 3 jobs and couldn't find any time to vote early. Oh my God. Fuck off.
Oh man.
Oh, that reminds me.
The guy who's sitting, whoever said that to you, tell him I said to fuck off. Go ahead.
That reminds me, there was the piece of fucketry. There was David Frum, the political pundit or whatever. He said something to the effect today of the people who vote for Biden are the people who pay their cable bills. People who vote for Bernie are the people that don't even remember to pay their cable bills, don't even care to pay their cable bills. And I was like, are you saying that Joe Biden represents the people who remember things? Yeah. Have you watched Joe Biden lately, David Frum?
Yeah. Bernie did apparently really underperform in the 18 to 29 demographic.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, from what they were expecting. Because supposedly, and this is something Shu said in her video from Brainlit, only old people vote for Bernie. What is it? I think she says 45 and up or something like that. That's his key demographic. Like, well, one, yes, because they tend to be the people who vote the most anyway. That's just fact. Look it up, guys. And 2, because they're the ones whose money is going to be paying for all this shit.
Indeed.
Grisella says the outline for the Lord of the Night comic is written. Just have to write the script. Still don't know how many pages it'll be. I'll keep you guys posted. Well, cool. Thank you.
Wait. I obviously misunderstood. You're doing a whole comic, relatively? I thought you were just doing a cover. Wow. Okay.
No, comic.
Cool. Oh, I completely missed that part.
That's totally cool.
Pyrus asks what happened to Satsu. He's just taking the night off. That boy needs some rest.
He was tired of taking care of baby.
He's a new daddy.
Yeah, needs some rest.
If you heard his voice this morning, wow, yeah, he's tired. That's a parody of an old Calgon commercial. What
the Qui-Gon thing? Oh, okay.
was that? Calgon?
Calgon, Qui-Gon? I don't know.
No. I get what you're saying there. Sangreen, thank you. Biden forgets, so you don't have to. Thank you for the donation. No, I thought that wasn't it like Whisk laundry detergent, ancient Chinese secret or something like that.
I have no idea.
I mean, I know the ancient Chinese secret thing, but
I don't know.
I thought maybe there was a specific Star Wars one that had been done.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not quite old enough to remember Calgon commercials.
But is it Bernie's turn? No. Monkey, who do I have to eat out to get an invite to be on Lords of the Night? I've been on Monkey in the Morning a bunch. Am I Lords of the Night ready?
Who said that?
That's Pete.
You mean Peter Style Katie's 313?
It is Calgon. You're right. I wikied it.
Isn't he Australian?
He is Australian.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got one of them funky accents. We don't have accents on here.
I mean, if you want to go like put another shrimp on the Barbie, or that's not a knife, maybe, but
no, we had Tailed on the show.
Hey, Tailed, I have a certain kinship with Tailed.
Gothrapple.
Part Scottish, yeah, and Gothrapple. I mean,
I was actually
fucking Moo and Gothrapple.
I was actually thinking more of Drunkle when I said we don't have funky accents on this show.
Oh yeah, oh boy.
Pete, we'll talk sometime. Did I see the Jack Cochran tweet reply to someone now claiming that "Okay Boomer" is another way of saying the N-word?
Oh, there was an article on that, or no, a teacher, a professor at some college said that to his students when someone told him "Okay Boomer" or whatever, and then he got either suspended or fired as a result of making that comment.
You think if we had Pete on the show, he'll ask any questions?
Will we answer them if he does?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe later.
It'll be interesting to ignore him in person.
Yeah.
Pete, we love you. Now that she helped screw over Bernie, you think Warren will finally end her campaign trail of tears? Oh, real quick, Ginger Snap, thank you for the donation. I got to scroll down. There we go. For the kitty cat doing the number one. And I know you're going to disagree. That's what it is. It's a kitty cat. Anyway, thank you so much. Will Warren end? She said as long as nobody had a clear majority going into the convention, she was going to stay the whole time. Will she stick with that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I got to imagine there's a whole bunch of pressure on her right now, both internally in her own campaign, because I think even her own people understand the longer she stays in, the more she's just helping Biden. And I don't think even their ideology isn't enough to say, well, I mean, we're not for Bernie, but we don't want another corporate president in there. So, yeah, Elizabeth, maybe you should bow out, or maybe try to get some kind of deal out of Bernie or something and then move on. But her pride, or her just thinking that she's a big spoiler now, and of course the media loves her. They're all over her regardless. They'd love to talk about it because she's the only female candidate in the race still that matters. Sorry, Tulsi. So I don't know. Her ego might keep her in longer than she should be, and give Biden the edge he needs to kind of take the convention.
Her money will eventually dry up. How long it takes for that to happen? I mean, look how long Tulsi stayed in. And Liz has enough support. I don't know what the new DNC rules are for each of the debates. They changed them for Mikey.
Yeah, did she qualify for the next one?
I'm sure she has.
Okay, she might just take on at least the next debate, just to.
At this point, they should just drop all the requirements and just let everybody left on.
They should.
Yeah, it'd
only be 4 people, so. But see, I feel like that would help. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Pete, who says, "Ignore this, motherfucker." Thank you.
Hey, imagine that. That wasn't a question.
You know I love you, Pete.
Yeah, no, if there's more people on the stage, that helps Biden, that gives him cover for all this insanity. So yeah, I'd be more than happy if it was just Bernie and Biden on the stage. If Warren wants to be there as like some neener thing, it's not going to help her image. She'd probably be better off bowing out gracefully now than just like sitting there and pissing off probably part of her base that's just like, Elizabeth, you don't have a chance, and Bernie's not Biden. So, you know.
So that's three socialists and a moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm all for opening it up because the whole reason to stagger it was because of how many they had. Yeah, but it's not going to help anything having them on there.
No.
I just don't see her. I mean, I don't see her really suffering for staying in. So,
well,
it's
no,
up to her, really.
I just think that if her intentions were true about not wanting another Biden in the place or anything else, and her supporters aren't completely blind to the reality of the situation of what her staying in, the effect it's having on Biden's chances, she's probably under pressure to drop out just to try to give Bernie a better chance of opposing Biden. Will she do it? Is there some deal being made? I don't know. I honestly expected her to drop today. I thought after Bloomberg dropped, Elizabeth Warren might kind of go like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me for keeping in.
Well, if that article we read earlier is correct, I hadn't seen anything from her campaign, but they're at least looking at it. So maybe.
Yeah.
Again, she has nothing to lose politically from it. And Bernie doesn't have a chance in hell anyway. The states that he could have won if it was just him and Biden, he did win. The states that he would have lost if it was just him and Biden, he did lose. So
yeah, I mean, but his number of delegates would have been larger if Elizabeth hadn't been there in a couple of. Actually, did she get 15% anywhere? I take it back. Maybe
she got some delegates, but not very many.
Okay.
I said the numbers. I mean, he would still be losing, and that's what it comes down to. Mike says, every time you say Crystal Liza, I think of Crystal Lizard from Dark Souls. Can you say Crystal Lizard from now on? Even if I remember to, probably not, because I'll trip over that worse than Crystal Liza.
I like saying the wonderful Lizard of Oz, like that, or just the Lizard, which I'm assuming is going to be my arch nemesis in the comic book. I'm thinking that'd be awesome, but. The Crystal Lizard. I wonder if the Crystal Lizard was named after Crystal Liza.
Probably not, because that game has been around longer than he's been known.
Maybe.
Did you know the tightrope guy is walking right now? I did not. What's he walking over?
Volcano.
The tightrope guy?
Really?
I didn't. The tightrope.
Yeah, he's walking over a volcano.
Wow.
It's 1,100 feet or something like that.
Is it a live volcano or is it just like a mountain?
Either way, if he falls, he's going to die.
Well, yeah, the heat alone coming off of that. I wonder how they're mitigating that too. I'll dry up real quick.
Nuts ass certified. Certified what? What are you asking me certified for?
Certified fresh? What? Rotten Tomatoes?
Anal in ass Hammer. Who is Hammer? Hammer, who are you?
I am the man.
I heard him, Hammer.
I am the inventor of Minions of the Zoo, along with Reject.
Are you Hammerman?
I'm a snarky centrist on Twitter.
You remember Hammerman?
No.
The MC Hammer cartoon, superhero cartoon show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I remember there was a cartoon. I don't remember Hammerman.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, he was the guy named Stanley, and he found a pair of magic shoes, and when he put them on, he became Hammerman, and he would like dance around and save kids from drugs or something.
I am the Lord of Pounding. I'm the only Lord or only person who has a Lord's name who has sexual innuendo attached to it. Only one.
Punishment and it depends on how you look at it, I guess.
Mine does not, because pain and sex don't go together.
You would be wrong, sir.
I'm absolutely correct on that.
You are wrong.
Will Mongolia take advantage of coronavirus to conquer China?
The Mongols just riding across the plains like, our time is now.
Breathing on everybody.
Best portrayal of the devil in a movie or show?
I always like Viggo Mortensen in The Prophecy. But I also like Lucifer, the TV show. That's very interesting. It's a completely different kind of tone. So for drama, seriousness, Viggo Mortensen and the Prophecy. For just entertainment value, Tom Ellis in Lucifer.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh yeah, Bedazzled. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What about that movie with Keanu Reeves?
Oh, Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, but Al Pacino already
No
looks.
makeup.
Yeah, he does. See, Al Pacino wasn't really having to work that hard to be devilish because he already looks ridiculous and he yells a lot. So it's kind of like, he's not really a great devil.
Yeah,
he's just being Al Pacino at that point.
Yeah.
There is actually, I think it's A Winter's Tale with Russell Crowe and Will Smith plays the devil in that for a brief scene. And at that one scene with him, because Russell Crowe's playing a demon and Will Smith's playing Satan, and that one scene's not bad. It's a very interesting scene. I don't know if it's the best portrayal, but seeing Will Smith actually act and not just be Will Smith is a rare event these days. So that was interesting.
My other nomination for that would be Trey Parker.
Oh, okay.
Do you think confusing his wife with his sister is a way for Biden to pander to Alabama? No, because the vote for that was already over.
Yeah.
Vote was already over for that. Maybe West Virginia. Lords and Mike, do you think we're going to have a full-blown panic over coronavirus? I think we're almost there.
Just in my local area, we're kind of already there because like the grocery store in an area that I live in a fairly sedate area. It's not, it's like a suburb of a suburb kind of thing. And the grocery store here was just mobbed today. Like there were shelves that were like, just had a few things left. Like I said, the entire stock of honey was all gone. The tea section was practically barren. And I was like, Jesus, guys, seriously? And it was just people running around these giant carts full of stuff. And I thought, well, the grocery store is making out like bandits. That's all I can tell you.
Our grocery store was normal. I was there today.
Apparently the panic has set in near me because people were just going crazy.
I think that's the reason why people think that Trump is downplaying this. I think a lot of what he's doing is just trying to keep people from panicking.
Well, they actually got in trouble for trying to keep people from panicking.
Yeah, right.
They got the press. He came out and said that people should not watch TV for 24 hours. Yeah, so they'd stop panicking because people keep watching this shit and freaking out like everybody's going to be dead tomorrow.
Right.
It's something to keep an eye on. It's definitely something to pay attention to, but people are treating it like anytime we have a blizzard here, blizzard's coming. You go to Walmart that day and everything is wiped the fuck out. Like these people do their entire Christmas shopping, their Thanksgiving shopping, their Easter shopping, all the food that you're going to eat for a whole fucking year. They do it in one day.
Well, you know what this is? This is the sort of add water to the climate crisis paranoia, because now we don't have to wait 10 years for the world to end. It's happening right now.
Well, fair enough.
It helps the whole climate change thing because now we have something to panic about. We can blame Trump for right now. We don't have to worry about 10 years from now when nothing happens, but we can say that the whole world's going to burn up. So,
Muggy, don't forget that Blizzard changed the name of the Maine Coon cat in a while because it's so racist.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Really? That's stupid.
Yeah.
What's more embarrassing, Chenk's primary or Sargon's MEP loss? Sargon's.
Yeah, probably. Just because of his public performance and just how horribly it went. Cenk, I didn't see anything. I'm sure he did other public appearances, he did that debate or whatever, but he was sunk in things that he did before he ran. Sargon said things and did things during his run that were just like, oh man.
Well, and at the end of it, Democrat is still in the race, and has a good chance of winning out there. There's a Republican who's got a chance, because right now it's another one of those cannibalizing vote things. It'll come down to two people, and it is going to be a Republican versus a Democrat. Democrat still has a chance. What was the party that he was with? UKIP?
Yes.
That party exploded because of that election.
Right. Not just because of Sargon, but he certainly didn't help anything.
That election, And he became kind of the face for it there.
Briefly, yeah.
Let's see. Have you guys seen the "Don't Touch Me There"? That is my no square dance. Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
we actually watched it last night on Monkey in the Morning because it had been brought up, and I couldn't remember it. And then I saw it, like, oh yeah, this stupid shit. Yeah.
It had been brought. Sorry, go ahead.
Somebody go.
The best part is the look on the lady's face. The person in the front center. She's just so serious about this. This is what she's wanted to do all her life.
No, I was just going to say, Monkey saying it had been brought up, and I just wanted to like cringe myself to death there for a moment.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
George Mason broughtens up that he lives in California 25 and asks, what should I do to celebrate Shank's loss?
Donate to an equestrian society.
Yeah, go love an animal. Calgon, is that a Wayne's World 2 reference?
It was in Wayne's World.
Yeah, it was brought up, yeah.
I remember not necessarily the news commercial about Calgon. It was funny. The only thing I remember about not necessarily the news was the where they did the names of different items or funny words. I forget what they called him though. He actually made a book. What's his name? Rich something. But he would make up new words, and one of them that he came up with is the only one I remember. Is that little bit of water that you get out of mustard if you don't shake it up enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called musquirt.
Nice.
And that has stuck with me my whole life.
Yeah, that says a lot that stuck with you.
I wonder how many early voters in the Super Tuesday states want their votes for Pete and Amy back.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like they voted early and they voted for somebody that's not even relevant anymore.
Richard Hall, thank you. Yes, that's his name.
Oh, Rich Hall? Yeah, Rich Hall.
I forget what those were called, though. He had a name for them. But it was a little segment he did on Not Necessarily the News from time to time. Yeah. Did you hear about the scandal where Chank was caught in the back of some lady's Mustang? God damn it.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
For those who don't get it, we're not explaining. What are your thoughts on Farr stealing the Noir bar off the Silly Otter? I don't know what's going on with that.
Well deserved.
If all of China's infected with the coronavirus, we already saw that one. It's just a different. You asked a different question of the same question. How dare you? May I ask, are you doing a Monkey in the Morning or a game stream tonight? There's no game stream, and there's probably not going to be a Monkey in the Morning tonight. I am tired. Oh. When I woke up today, Lady Monkey actually, why are you awake? Because I can't not be. That's how little I slept. Thank you, Sanguine, who says Corona pisses me off because there are two camps and they're both wrong, and one is inconsistently wrong. The end is nigh camp, and it's just a flu, but Trump is at fault for not doing more camp. Yeah, I mean, I'm of the idea it's something to pay attention to, and I get what you're saying, Sanguine. I'm not arguing with what you said there, but there's a third camp. There's those of us who are think, look, it's a thing that's happening and pay attention to it, but the world's not ending.
Yeah,
because there's far too many who are like, the world's ending. It's not, and it is worse than the flu. I mean, we're talking about because it actually can lead to pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was like completely different because SARS is technically also a coronavirus.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a respiratory virus.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned with the behavior of people in the midst of the fear being generated by this than the actual disease itself, because the long-term effects of what people might do or the trends that might cook up as a result of the fear.
You mean like suicide?
No, not suicide, but just like economic stuff.
If you want a computer part, better buy it now, because a lot of our computer parts come from China, and they're not making them anymore.
No, I'm just wondering if because any reason for somebody to overreact. I'm just thinking about like people fighting over the last can of soup at some store or some kind of like Black Friday kind of stuff where people get trampled for like the last Purell.
Yes, thank you, Prospero. I'm sorry.
What?
Sniglets. That's the name of the words that are not quite words. Muskwort. Sniglet.
That sounds racist.
Does sound racist.
It's not though.
Well, just because you say it isn't doesn't mean it isn't.
No, it literally isn't. You can look it up.
Sorry, no. That article we read the other night, that it means it is.
And Nuts clarifies that the whole certified question was because I said I was a certified journalist. Yes, I certified myself. What's wrong with that?
Yay, self-certification.
That's how all certification starts, is a group of people get together. But this is how this means you're certified. And then from there on, they certify other people.
I think you're certified all right.
That's just how it happens.
Certifiable.
And with that, guys, we're going to close this one out. It's 11 o'clock, and it's time for me to go hopefully sleep. Thank you guys for coming and joining us tonight. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so very generous, and I really, really do appreciate it. Hammer, thank you so much for joining us, man.
It's my pleasure. I love streaming with you guys.
And Scribbles, a pleasure as always.
What's my name? Say
Scribbles.
my name.
I said Scribbles.
Okay.
I mean, do you want me to call you Sinatra?
Oh,
all right. Sinatra, thanks for joining me as always. Everyone.
You know what? I'm gonna sick chink on you.
Your lives make us sad. We'll see you next time.
bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
This is the end of the show, son.